Hey everyone, welcome to my third video of Inktober 2016 and it's for days 8 to 11. Um, if you've been following my channel for this Inktober, you know that I've chosen themes for the week, and for the second week of Inktober I went with buildings and environments with the goal of practicing my perspective drawing skills. And for this first sketch, I'm going from a reference picture, and it's inside of a doorway in a castle in France. And I'm using my ruler a lot when I do perspective drawing because I want to make sure that everything is lining up as it should. I could explain the theory behind perspective and all of that, but I'm not the most qualified to do that. So I'm sure there are plenty of people on YouTube explaining very well the principles of perspective and building sketches in perspective. So I encourage you to check that out. And yeah, you need a ruler to do all those guidelines and yeah, get it to work and get it to look right. So I'm using a different pencil this time. I don't know if you've been watching my videos in the past, but usually I use colorized pencil. But for this one I used my Rotring lead holder. And yeah, because I like it gives me a bit more precision, I guess. And I'm working on Bristol this week, so the colorized tend to leave a mark on the Bristol, whereas the lead holder doesn't. But the drawback is that I get a lot of graphite smudges. So I've moved on to inking, and I'm doing my inking this week with my Staedler pigment liner. I've got them in size 0.1, 0.3, 0.5 and 0.8. And I love those pens. I get them from my local stationery news agent, and they're water resistant and they're Copic resistant, which is pretty good, and they're not very expensive, so I like them a lot. And I'm doing the shading, and I'm doing hatching and cross hatching. It's not something that I usually do. I mean, I never do ink sketches, just ink. So it's also a new experience to be cross-hatching and shading this way, and it's quite enjoyable, and I can really see using those new skills in outdoor and on location sketches. So yeah, those sketches took me quite a bit of time, each of them, because I wanted them to look right, and I think they were at least all a couple of hours. And for this one I'm adding a dark border around it. I didn't for the next sketches, but I don't know, I felt it needed it. And I've added more things. It's not following the picture exactly. The original picture didn't have like checkered floors and stuff like that. That's details that I've added myself. Now we're on to day 9, and day 9 I decided to do a scene that you know, not based on the picture but still using buildings. My dishwasher started, so I had to stop my voiceover and stop it. You can still hear it in the background. It should stop in a second. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully it's gonna stop in a second. So yeah, I'm applying what I've learned about perspective to this new setting, new scene that I'm putting from my imagination. And you can just see on the side of my paper my vanishing point. I've got one on the left and one on the right. I'm surprised my dishwasher didn't beep. So yeah, I'm now adding some more details on those houses, and this is one of my favorite sketches from this second week of Inktober. We're already on to third week, and it's only now that I get the time to do the voiceover. So hopefully I will be able to edit and voiceover the fourth video, the second part of week 2, and then we'll get ready for week 3. On the week 3, I'm already starting to forget to record my sketching and inking, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I will remember to hit the record button next time. But yeah, now more windows, and now onto some stairs that I'm adding. Sorry, you can see my head and the shot. I'm adding a balcony, and here I'm trying a few different things. I know I want to add some boats, and I'm trying different design, and then I decide to go for something simple. Otherwise it's gonna take forever, and I kind of want to finish it. I see my Inktober sketches as warm-up sketches for the day. The kind of sketches I do to loosen up and get ready for proper sketches and painting. And usually something I do in my sketchbook. But for Inktober I decided to go on loose papers, at least for the first 2 weeks. Maybe I will go back to my sketchbook in the next few, and I'm adding some dashes for giving an impression of water, a little bit more shading, adding something to the windows so that they look like there's a bit of reflection. I think I'm doing that. Yes, I'm happy to doing that soon. A bit more shading, and now some ivy and a tree in the background, and that's pretty much it for this one. Brickwork. And yeah, pretty much done. Now on to day 3. I'm working half from a picture and half from my imagination on this one, I think. So I've just sketched my horizon line and my vanishing points, which is at the far right. And there's also another vanishing point very close to my border on not so close, on the left side. So this one is a wall with a door, and so I'm doing all these sketches. And as you can see, my ruler is broken. I finally bought a new ruler today. I had this ruler for about 10 years, and then my husband managed to snap it accidentally into a minute a couple of months ago, and then I had just replaced it. And I'm also using my big quilting ruler, and here I'm showing previous sketches for Inktober. I was trimming that day, so you can see all the previous sketches, and all of those will be in the video. And that was also a sketch I'm working on. That's going to be a painting in the next few days. I need this painting ready by the end of next week. So if you want to see me do this kind of sketch and painting in real time, and with interaction with me and all of that, I recommend joining me on Twitch. Details will be in the description box below. And yeah, now I'm gonna ink, and time I'm using my Staedler pigment liners. I really like those, and I keep turning my paper so I can get an angle that's comfortable for my wrist. And there's one thing I've found is that if I've been doing some, I'm showing my sketches again, sorry about that, I should have trimmed that in the edition of my video. If I've done some physical exercise before inking, then my lines are very wobbly, and my control over my pen is not the best. And finally, I'm adding some details in paving in this garden. I'm pretty happy with this one. It's not the best, but it was quite fast. I think it took me an hour and a half in total. The sketching is always the longest. Sketching can take up to an hour and 15 minutes, and then inking takes nothing at all. Some paintings I've been working on, and writing the name. Those paintings that you just saw, I've just given them for an exhibition, so yay. And more sketching. This one was also from a reference picture. for the mountain in the background, mountains plural in the background, and for the lake that's going to come in a minute. And I was trying to put some houses, but it didn't fit in what I wanted to say. So in the end, I will change that, and I will go for something a bit more Hobbit-like with what I want to look like houses carved inside the mountain. So probably more like dwarves and hobbits. Anyway, I'm inking. This sketch was quite fast. I think in total with inking it took me 45 minutes. I was a bit pressed for time by the end of this Inktober week, so yeah. There are some lines to look at the water and a bit of shading on the mountain. I wanted the mountain on the front to be much darker, so I did more shading, and so that mountains in the background could recede and disappear. And here we go, and that's it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.